Welcome to yoga class, and if you're subscribed, welcome back. I am so thrilled you're here again so that we can practice together. Grab a block, maybe a strap. Meet me on your mat in an easy seat, crisscross in whatever position you prefer. With your next exhale, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. With your next inhale, elongate your spine, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. Exhale, bring your rib cage in towards your spine. Press your hands into the ground, middle fingers facing forward. On your next inhale, press your hands into the ground so that you can go easily into a tabletop pose. Elongate your spine from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. Puppy pose. On your next exhale, lower your forehead to the ground, stretching your fingers even longer towards the front of your mat with straight arms. Puppy pose. Relax your shoulders. Stack your hips on top of your knees. Maybe you might like to put your chin on the ground. Possibly you would like to drop your hips further towards your feet or closer towards the front of the mat. Whichever feels best for you today. Use your core and pull yourself out of puppy pose into tabletop pose. Reset your body, gripping with your fingers. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Make sure your hips are on top of your knees. Tuck your toes. Push your hips back so that they're closer to being on top of your heels. Then send your hips into the sky for down dog. Push the floor away with your feet and your hands, stretching your hips closer to the sky. Stretch both of your side bodies. Neutral neck. Plank pose. Look down in between your hands. Point your toes and flatten from your heels all the way to your neck, shifting your weight on top of your hands. Lower to your tummy. Either drop your knees to be in tabletop pose, then lower your chest to the ground, or possibly try chaturanga, lowering slowly to your stomach, elbows facing backwards towards your toes. Look out with a neutral spine. Bring your rib cage in. Forearm plank. Hands, arms parallel. Engage your core, pull your stomach in, rise your hips off of the ground. Notice if your body wants to bow like a banana in one way or another. Long spine. Down dog. Either lower back onto your stomach and press back into a down dog pose, or one hand at a time, press into a down dog pose. Three-legged dog. Toes, hips facing the mat. Lift your right leg off of the ground. Send your right leg up to a low lunge position. On your next inhale, rise your chest towards your right side, twisting gently. Place your hand on your block or pray your hands on the opposite side of your right knee, placing your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Press your hands back into the ground. Send your hips back into down dog. Stay here for a few breaths for your preferred down dog pose. Relax your heels to the ground. Three-legged dog. Lift your left leg for three-legged dog. Keep your hips and toes facing the mat. Remember gecko grip fingers and push the floor away with your arms. Step in between your hands for a low lunge. Twist to your left. Use your block with your right hand on. Or prayer hands with your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Press your hands into the ground, send your hips back to down dog once more. Three-legged dog, lift your right leg up off the ground, hips, toes facing the mat. Step to low lunge. Rise your back left knee up off of the ground for high lunge. Elongate your entire left side body. Lower yourself down for a low lunge. Press your hands into the ground on either side of your foot. Send your right leg back to a down dog. Left-sided three-legged dog. Send your left leg up to the sky for a three-legged dog. Hips, toes facing the mat. Step in between your hands for a low lunge. High lunge. Lift your knee up off of the ground, center your weight. High lunge. Drop your back knee for another low lunge. Press your hands into the ground, send your hips back for a down dog. Stay here in your preferred down dog to reset for just a moment. Make your way to an easy seat, crisscross however you like. Hands on blocks on either side of your hips, or press your hands down into the ground. Press your hands down into the ground so much that you can lift your hips off of the ground. Push your upper back closer and closer towards the sky. Relax. Lower yourself back down onto the ground. Take a few breaths. Crisscross the opposite direction. Press your palms into your blocks or into the ground. Straighten your arms. Push your shoulders down in towards the ground. Send your hips up off of the ground. Lower yourself down. Camel pose. Place your hands on your mid to low back, encouraging your back to bend in the upper back, not the lower. Place the fingers facing downwards. Look up towards the sky. Tuck or untuck your toes, whatever you prefer. Slightly bend your chest slowly so it is facing the sky. Sit back as much as you prefer to keep your back safe. If at any point you would prefer to do this sitting down completely, do so. Or possibly you would prefer to do this with your hands connected to a block or your heels. Wide-legged seat. Sit on your glutes. Sit on your sit bones, hips facing the long side of your mat. Sit with your feet about 90 degrees away from each other. Pull your rib cage in with your next exhale. And with your next inhale, elongate your spine, pulling you straighter. On your next exhale, hinge at the hips, hands behind your neck gently without pushing your head forward. Use your core to keep yourself from collapsing down. Continue to have a straight spine. Pull yourself out of this pose. Swing your legs so that they are together and rotating towards each other so that they are tight and one unit. Place your hands behind you. Reverse plank. Lean your chest back so your shoulders are above your wrists. Tuck your glutes. Pull yourself up into a reverse plank pose. Reclined, hug on knees, lower yourself down to your back. Recline on your back, possibly you would like to hug your knees to your chest. Maybe you would like to rock back and forth and settle your spine. Take a few more breaths here. I would like to thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me today. I'm super appreciative that you chose to do your yoga with me today. I know that there are so many yoga channels on YouTube and in person, and you could have done it with anyone. So thank you so much for choosing to share your yoga practice with me today. It would mean so much to me if you were to let me know how you thought about it down in the comments so that I can continue to make these videos better, more enjoyable. I don't know. Yeah, it would just help me with creating the type of content that you would want to watch. So yeah, I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful day.